I come from Central America, where my two brothers and I ate ants to survive. I got to the United States. I was 16 years old, homeless in the streets of Las Vegas. And when the Air Force gave me an opportunity, I was trying to literally save my life. The ROA was able to take the time to look at my specific needs, my specific future in the military, and take care of me throughout my journey. If you would have seen me running in mud in Central America, you would have not predicted that my ID card was going to open the door of the Pentagon. Hello, everyone. How exciting. That video reminds me of so many things, but the first thing that comes to mind is the amazing journey that all of us have in life. I am Erica Kelly. I am the leader of the military division for the Napoleon Hill Institute, and I am here just to welcome you to the Coach's Corner of the Institute. With me, I am going to have my brother from the Marine Corps, Frank Menard. And what I want to do is just go through the journey that the two of us have gone into when it comes to the Napoleon Hill, the military history that we bring to the table, and also to share with you the possibilities. If you are part of the Napoleon Hill Institute, you know what I'm talking about. If you are not yet part of the Institute, then we are so happy and glad that you're here and that you then can be with us and just spend a few minutes with us and allow us to share our stories with you. Let's bring Frank up and see what he's up to.
Living the dream in Southwest Florida. Thank you, Erica. So wonderful to meet and be here with you today.
Absolutely. And you say Florida. Well, I'm in Southern California, so sunny and sunny. So maybe that's why, our attitude is
Gotta love it.
Yes. Frank, I want to share with the audience the journey of how you and I became coaches, certified coaches with the Napoleon Hill Institute. And I can just tell you my story very quickly, and then I'll pass the platform to you. And that is very easy. Everyone, I spent 32 years in the Air Force, active duty and reserve time. And I'm facing retirement. I'm facing that weird transition of what's next. And I'm thanking the universe, I'm thanking God for taking action on maybe 2 years before I retire, saying, what's next? 2 years. And in that time is when I took a step of investing with my money, with my time, with my energy, and going to a place outside of the military. And if you're in the military, you know how hard it is to make that step. I did it. I became a certified coach on another platform, but that platform introduced me to Napoleon Hill. And some people have studied Napoleon Hill for years and years and years. I'm here to tell you that not until I was in the military for 30 years did I not learn about Napoleon Hill. It is what it is. But once I learned about the principles of Napoleon Hill, once someone was kind enough to gift me with the Think and Grow, and I have it right here, Think and Grow Rich book, did I not started, and let me pause here, did I not start thinking outside of a square? And I started realizing how big life is. And I started realizing that my potential could continue outside of the uniform. So years later, I'm still in the self-growth, self-development world, but years later, right, the Napoleon Hill Institute comes to life. And I decide again that I am going to be part of that family. I'm going to be part of that community. And I am going to keep growing within the principles that changed my life for me to become a business owner, changed my life to see my potential outside of the military, and changed my life when it comes to who I am as a person, as a woman, as a leader. But that's my story on how I navigated with key people in my life, navigated to the point of then becoming part of the institute, and then being a certified phase 1 coach, and then being a certified phase 2 coach with the institute, and then for me to have Cleona O'Hara, the CEO of the Napoleon Hill Institute, say, I would like you to lead the military division for the institute. So here I am. Here I am. And here's Frank.
Here I
Frank,
am.
yes, here you are, my friend. What about you and your journey with the Napoleon Hill Institute?
Yeah, thank you, Erica. My journey actually began in 1977 in regard to Napoleon Hill. So I joined the Marine Corps in 1974 after 2 years of service traveling the West Pacific. When I came back stateside, I was afforded the opportunity to become a recruiter. That also caused me to be trained by some of the best professional selling skills available, which at that time was from Xerox Corporation. We learned a sales process known as the professional selling. And so I started running recruiting substations all over the country. I started in New Hampshire, which is my home state, traveled to North Carolina, then to San Diego. I was an instructor at the School for Recruiters. I actually became a career recruiter within the Marine Corps. So although my initial job as a Marine was as a radio communicator, I was able to turn my skills in sales into my profession as a Marine. I read Napoleon Hill for the first time in 1977. Like Erica, I saw Napoleon Hill Institute come about in 2023. And I started to ask, gee, that's interesting. I wonder what that's all about. I had, by that time, to 2015, I had moved to Florida. and I was serving my customers down here as a real estate coach, as a real estate productivity coach. And so I watched Napoleon Hill grow for about a year, and it was about March of 2024, so just short of a year ago, that I decided I was going to take advantage of their mentorship program. I wasn't jumping right into the coaching program, but if I'm being completely authentic, inside of 2 weeks of seeing all of the material and everything that was afforded to me as a mentor to learn, it was an 8-month program. In 2 weeks, I said, no, I've got to go full gear here. My major mission in life, and has been most of my life, is to inspire and to positively impact the lives of others. And I could find no better way as a young Marine to do that than to show young men and women how they could turn a journey into the military into a professional career somewhere down the road, regardless of what they wanted to do. Even as a young teenager, I was working for a program called Head Start, which helped underprivileged children during the summer months to get education and some recreation. So I think I was 13 or 14 years old when I was doing that. So I've literally been serving someone my entire life. And I think the biggest strength that I bring to coaching and how Napoleon Hill helps me bring that out to the world is I actually do care about people. When I retired from the Marine Corps in 1996, I had a few years, I want to say probably 5 or 6 years in the automotive industry. I was in sales. And then I joined my wife, who at that time was working as a real estate agent. So we actually worked for a couple of major companies and eventually went on our own. We have a company called the Menard Team, and I'm still a broker in New Hampshire, although I'm primarily retired now and only work by referral. But on and on and on through my entire life, I was serving. And I think the similar thing that Erica and I bring to the table in regard to coaching, I too became aware of coaching under a different platform, which gave me the opportunity to see just how powerful we can be as a coach and how much of an impact we can have on folks. I had the opportunity yesterday to speak to 30 healthcare professionals in my community here in Florida, and it was only a 15-minute conversation. But in that presentation, I could see when I was sharing the principles of Napoleon Hill, definiteness of purpose, the Mastermind Alliance, going the extra mile, and applied faith, I could see the folks in the audience just listening. And you can watch the reactions and watch them nod their heads or roll their eyes because they're really not living the best life that they could live. And so I love that opportunity to be able to impact the lives of others just by doing what I love to do, which is to engage with people. So that's my story. Erica, what has NHI done for you?
Yes, I think it just, and maybe for you as well, it just made the world bigger. It made my self-awareness just intake all this amazing knowledge. I was looking at the purity of coaching, which is fantastic. And just like you, is like the purity of coaching. And some people ask me, well, why coaching? Because we're in the business of people. And so now that I tell people that I'm living my purpose, well, my purpose is people, which is a continuation of something that you share, which is from your teenage years, from being my teenage years, from me being new in the military. All of that were foundational pieces for me to today say that I am a coach. But why the Napoleon Hill Institute? Well, the Napoleon Hill Institute has helped me in 4 ways, if I can just share this little formula. And I think the formula comes from other mentors, but Napoleon Hill was the one that was that little point in my life that went point expansion. And that is the perception I had of me and who am I as a coach and as an entrepreneur. My perception changed, right? And because my perception changed, my actions also became a little different. The action steps, the things that I was willing to take risk on, change, grew. And because of the different, and I'm using risk in a very positive light, everyone. Sometimes people hear risk and you're like, ah, no. I'm talking about educated risk that's going to move us forward. So perception change, which allowed me to take different action steps, which then gave me different amazing results. And those results showcase to me the Napoleon Hill Institute, right? Those results showcase to me the possibilities of what I can accomplish, what all of us can accomplish. Sometimes those results were fighting my old limiting beliefs, those beliefs that are going, hey, how did you do that? You can't do that. Did you forget that you are, and fill in the blank with whatever word. But those negative beliefs started getting smaller. I'm not saying that I don't have them. I do. What I'm saying is that I can look at them and go, thank you for existing. Thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for trying to protect me. But do you not see the possibilities? So that's what the Napoleon Hill Institute did for me, Frank, and everyone that's watching this video. And that is, it changed my perception, my self-perception, allowed me to take action, allowed me to get different results, and allowed me to build different beliefs about the possibilities in my life. What about you?
Yeah, it's interesting, Erica. As I'm listening to you speak, I'm flashing back to my beginning as a Marine. You know, we go to basic training, and essentially what we're doing in basic training is we're learning the foundational principles that are inherent to all of our branches of services, the leadership skills, and we're learning from people who have done what we're doing. And so when I became aware of the Napoleon Hill Institute, I said, "Gee, I wonder why Napoleon Hill?"
Mhm.
And then I started hearing Ed Milet, his favorite book is Think and Grow Rich. Jim Rohn mentions Think and Grow Rich. Earl Nightingale loved Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. So all of these great leaders and speakers, motivational speakers in the world, Oprah Winfrey gives a lot of credit to Think and Grow Rich. Well, the reason they do that is because this is where it began. The 13 foundational principles. I think the key words are foundational principles. They don't change. So if you're going to engage in something or embark on a journey, as we did, to serve people, that's what we do. We serve people. The only reason we're on this earth is to serve other people. So why not learn the foundational principles, live the foundational principles, and share the foundational principles that could help make this world a better place? I mean, that sounds like a big thing. The world, I'm not going to impact the world, no, but I can impact people within the world.
Mm.
And if I can impact people to be kind and do better things for other people, to share foundational principles that can help people live the life that they want to live. And it's not all about money and success. It's about peace of mind. It's about being happy with who you are and where you are in your life. So for me, there was no other place that I would go than Napoleon Hill, because that is the source of the foundational principles that help so many people become rich in many, many ways.
Agree, my friend. Agree. As you were speaking, something came to mind. Um, when you use the word success, it's like it's more than success. And I agree with you. Success is a personal journey. It's us falling, getting up, being persistent, using principles. But finding success, those little sparks of success, is a personal journey. And I think that you and I, Frank, are at a point of beyond success, which we could use the word significant.
Yeah.
With that we want, and we are significant in people's lives, where it's not about us, it's about being significant in someone else's life. And some of our mentors say, once you taste significance, then success becomes a little secondary, right?
Yeah.
And if we taste significance, then can we then transform, keep growing, understand that there's no in life, in coaching, there's no finish line. It's the beautiful awareness of how far can I get.
Yeah.
It's the getting up in the morning, smiling, and going, how far can I get today? And that's pretty amazing. I do have a question for you, Frank, when it comes to what you and I are doing in the military division, and that is that every Thursday, today, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we host a book study on Think and Grow Rich. Most of the time, we're talking about Think and Grow Rich, but other Napoleon Hills and other books come into the conversation, and you host that 60-minute gift that we offer to the military community. Can you spend a few minutes just sharing that?
Sure. I'd like to start with, why we got involved with the military division. And for me, it was one of the deciding factors for becoming a coach within Napoleon Hill Institute because they were serving veterans. I spent 20 of my 22 years as a recruiter. And I felt, and I still feel that I have an obligation. I enlisted so many young men and women in the Marine Corps at the front end. I feel an obligation to serve them on the back end.
Yeah.
And so, as we all know, many of our veterans, they served their time. They had some experiences, some good, some not so good. And so, we wanted to create a forum where veterans of all branches of service could get together in a private room and do what we do. Sometimes it's chiding each other and challenging each other because of the branch of service they're in and all those types of things. But we started the book study, and it was a book study. I'd put up some PowerPoint slides and we'd do a little reading, and it was very structured. And I think you'll agree, Erica, over time, over the last several, maybe 6 or 8 months, it kind of changed from a book study to a mastermind. And our format today, this evening, when we do it, is way different than it was 6 months ago because we're becoming comfortable with each other and we're having conversations. So oftentimes, just walk you through how it works, we'll introduce a principle, and then maybe that'll take 5 to 10 minutes, a little bit of conversation. And then we just open the room and say, okay, who has a challenge or something that they'd like to bring into the picture, and how can we use this principle or maybe one of the other principles that we've talked about previously to help each other and support each other. And that's what a true mastermind is. It's an alliance of people engaging together with complete harmony. We're not competing with each other. We're just trying to help each other and support each other. Erica has skills that I don't necessarily have. I would hope to think I have some skills that she doesn't have, and so does everyone else in that room. So why would we not plug into what other veterans have experienced to help each other become and live the best life that we can live now that we're out of the military? So
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Frank, this is, being part of that room and being able to sometimes co-host that environment. This is what I have noticed. I have noticed that because is what you just said. It's a room where we don't judge, a room where we can have a conversation, a room where even though each branch of the military has its own mission, has its own culture, just being in the military makes us part of the same family, and we know the structure, the basic structure. So there's a comfort of being in the room. And because the room is, like you just explained it, more of a mastermind where a principle is put on the table and then someone says, hey, this is what I'm going through in my life, in my business, with my family. It doesn't really matter. It's a conversation. Then this is where we are helping people. We are highlighting, bringing up awareness on the distractions that they have in their lives. And we're also helping individuals on understanding the why they are delaying saying yes to an opportunity. Where is that delay coming from? And all of us can help. Where are the distractions coming from? What's the reason that you're giving those distractions so much attention? That because you are moving all over the place, you're not moving forward with intentionality, is what I see as a gift, the goodness of anybody that attends that room. But what are your thoughts?
So what's really interesting, Erica, is not everyone in the room is a veteran. This room is open for veterans and the family of veterans. And actually, one of our members that meets every week, she's always there. She's a spouse of a veteran, and
Yes.
you know, I think sometimes we really don't know what impact we're having. But one of the things that I look at is when I see people taking notes and smiling and getting excited about what's going on in that room, it's just wonderful to see that not only are they engaging, but they're taking information from it so that they can implement it after we're done with the call. I mean, do you see that as well?
Absolutely. What I see is individuals that are amazingly smart, that are moving through life and taking care of business. And there's just one thing. It's like it's a blind, well, if I can call it a blind spot.
Sure.
And for us to then say, this is how I see that specific situation. And because, just like you said, all of us have different gifts, all of us have different specialized knowledge, then the piece of advice that we give looks different. And that individual, the only thing they need to do, everyone, the only thing they need to do is be open to just take the advice for what it is. Don't challenge it. Don't push it away. Just take it because there's a reason that that advice is being given. And then this is after the advice is being given, this is what Frank and I tell the people. And that is to then look at the list of advice, prioritize, prioritize, and then take action on one of those things. Because, my dear friends, our desires, our dreams, what we want, what we're saying right here is beautiful. No doubt is beautiful. But without action, mm, nothing is going to happen.
So Erica, yesterday before before I was speaking at the event that I was at yesterday, I was having a conversation in the networking room with an attorney, and he had read Think and Grow Rich, and he was speaking with another younger attorney, someone just getting started, and he had never heard of the book. And the veteran attorney made a statement. He said, "Yeah, but the title is a little bit confusing." And I looked at him and said, "What do you mean by that?" He said, "Well, it says Think and Grow Rich." And he said, "To be honest with you, it's think, plan, act, and grow rich." And so you just bringing that up here in this room reminds me of how clear that really is. And in the book, Napoleon talks about, yes, you have to make a plan. Doesn't have to be a perfect plan, but you do have to make a plan and then get started in action. And then if you need to adjust and tweak it as you go along, that's fine. But you have to think, conceive. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to put together a plan of action. How are you going to accomplish it? What you want? What do you have to do to deserve it?
Mm-hmm.
And then receive it when it comes.
Yes,
And that's
absolutely.
the beauty of the book. It's just a blueprint on how to make your dreams come true.
Absolutely.
Because whatever we can see and believe we can achieve, as long as we have faith in our abilities. And I learned something a few months ago in my study, which is you wouldn't even be able to think of what it is you want to do unless you had the internal abilities already within you to do it.
Absolutely. But the fear, those other beliefs, the programming that we have received in life, then say, right? Because those ideas come in. Why? Because we can do it. The dream that we have, we can have it.
Yeah.
Then where's the gap? Where's the gap? Well, the gap is inside of us as well. And the gap can be, I mean, uh, being afraid of criticism.
Mhm.
If I do that, if I share my dream, people are going to criticize me. So I better not do, or I better not say anything. Right.
Yeah.
Another fear that I see a lot with my coaching clients is the thought that if you take action, which you and I talk a lot about taking action, if I take action and I don't know enough, people are going to take advantage of me. People are going to play me. People are going to use me. So I'm not going to take the action. I'm going to stay right here because right here is safe. And then what about if you share your dream? We share our dream with friends, family, people that love us. I'm not saying enemies,
Yeah.
people that love us. But that dream is so much outside of culture, our personal culture, so much out of the norm that people, let me underline this, people that love us say, not you. Do you not remember when? Seriously? I mean, where is this coming from? Erica Kelly? Where is this coming from? No, stay here. This is good. This is safe. So the thought of not being accepted is also one of those monsters that we need to fight to feed our dream. And then a fourth fear, Frank, a fourth fear is becoming invisible, not mattering, if that's a word.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is if I walk into a room and my presence doesn't matter, and that empty feeling of what am I doing here? So if that's a fear, then you going into that room that's full of opportunities, you going into that room that has your dream. If you believe, if that fear has that hold on you, you're not going to go. You're not going to go into that room because you're going to tell yourself, my presence doesn't matter there. And guess what happens? I don't want to say you stop growing. I want to say you start dying.
Yeah. Erica, I couldn't agree with you more. I see so many examples of, I just recently had my 69th birthday. And you're absolutely right. The people you love the most, they're trying to protect you from any harm.
They are.
So my wife of 47 years constantly asks me, why are you doing this? Why are you working so hard to do this? You should be retired now. You should be doing just relaxing by the pool. And I said, who said that? Why do I have to do that? It's not what I want to do. And so sometimes, as you were just speaking about all of those fears, I'm thinking about the one thing that we have to be in order to achieve any level of success. We have to be persistent.
Mm.
And yesterday in my presentation, I spoke about the original Rocky movie. So I think it was back in the mid 1980s. And it's not just a movie, it's a story. And in that story, the message that was being sent out, no matter how hard you get hit, no matter how many times you get knocked down, just keep getting back up because you don't lose, you don't fail until you stop getting up. And every time I say that, I get goosebumps talking about it because that's the way it is in life. Life will knock us around, knock us to our knees, and sometimes we just don't want to continue anymore. but we have to be persistent in order to deserve the best life that we can possibly live. And
Yes,
whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like.
that's right. And absolutely, I remember, and this is a few years ago. I ended up being part of a panel in New York City, and there's, gosh, I don't know, maybe 10,000 women, right? Women in the room, and the person that is asking the panel members questions asked me, what made you be persistent throughout your life, right? And you saw the video at the beginning, right? It's more of, no one would have predicted that a child eating ants and dirt is going to, and you fill in the blank. Who So persistence of staying alive, the walk, the 1,500 miles that we walk to get to the United States, learning the language, assimilating to the culture, getting an education, being part of the military, all that, persistence, making wrong decisions, making mistakes, getting up, persistence. So the answer to being persistent, my opinion only, just from my life, is that we need to have what we desire in front of us. That goal has to be right there. So every time we fall, and every time we start looking up, we can see what we want in front of us. That is what's going to give us fuel and energy to get up again and take one more step forward. But without that desire, without that goal, without that dream in front of us, then, forgive me for saying this, but it's really easy to stay down, because you don't know what we need to know what we are getting up for. We're not getting up for another hit. We're not getting up for another disappointment. We're getting up for what we desire. We're getting up for because we know our potential. That's why persistence, in my opinion, works, because we have a desire in front of us.
Yeah, a desire for something better, something different. And the thing that comes to mind is, if things aren't the way that you want them to be, then you need to take action. You need to decide what you want it to be. And I think, as Dr. Joe Vitale says, if you have a hard time answering the question, what do I want? Then simply reverse the question and say, what don't I want? And then
Yes.
that makes what you want clear, because if you don't want that, then you want this. And so making that desire, and understand that nothing changes until we do. It all starts with us. And here's the beauty, and I think we should probably introduce a couple of the programs that Napoleon Hill Institute has available for people to help them make the change, right? We have at the very base level the self-discipline camp, which is creating some different ways of starting your day, right? And so for me, a Marine, I'm accustomed to getting up early, but they wanted me to be involved with the self-discipline camp at 5:30 in the morning. Well, that was typically the time I woke up. So now, in order to be part of the self-discipline camp, I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning and take care of the dog and all the stuff that we do in the morning, right? But that one change, it's been about 9 months now that I've been attending the self-discipline camp, has afforded me no less than an extra 8 hours a week to be able to pursue and to grow, because I'm starting my day in a different way. I'm getting up earlier. I'm in a room full of like-minded people. We're helping and supporting each other. We're showing gratitude. We're doing some learning. We're doing some meditation to get our mindset right for the day. It's a dynamic of change. So nothing changes unless you do. The next program that we offer is called the Self-Confidence Camp. This is a digital program that can help people. If you think you're having a little bit of trouble with your confidence level and you're succumbing to fear, by the way, we all face fear, but some of us have learned how to push back and push through. Self-Confidence Camp may be something for you. Erica, why don't you share a couple of the other programs that we have? I know I came in a mentorship program, and I'll let you talk about it.
I'm writing down stuff that you're sharing, Frank. And you said, the fear. You use the word fear, and I'm here to just say this, and I hope you get it. We all fear. Some people say, and you're a Marine, Frank, so I'm saying it to you right now. But some will say, I'm fearless, right? Bring it. And I'm here to say, all of us, all of us feel fear. All of us feel fear. It's just that some of us fear less.
I love it. I love it.
Right? It's not that we're not. It's not that we're not fearless. We just feel fear less. So the programs. This is the goodness of the Napoleon Hill. The Napoleon Hill. The programs that you mentioned are low cost, but we also offer a lot of complimentary things. And the Napoleon Hill Institute almost every single month offers a complimentary mentorship, complimentary self-awareness, complimentary something workshop, in which it's not just anyone in the room. It's the top of not the country, but top of the world experts that come and share their lives, their experiences, and how self-growth, self-development is so important. So I'm highlighting all the complementary things that the Institute does. Also, talking about complementary, going back to the military division, is the Thursday every week, right? Conversation in a mastermind style that we offer to the military, to veterans, and to their families. Those are amazing. But going further, right? The Institute also has a mentorship program that you mentioned earlier, because that's how you got to the Institute, right? Where it's just you learning. It's just you having that inner circle. It's just you saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and oh my gosh, what's next? Right? So for what is next is then what you and I decided to do. And that is to come into the coaching program, where then we become certified. And if, because you can use it in different ways, if you are a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, and coaching is part of your service, then bring it, do it, right? If coaching is not part of your service, but becoming a certified coach is going to give you the tools for you to get more clients, for you to service the people that are counting on you better, then do it. Right? So there is so many platforms, starting from we just want you in the room. We just want to give you, we just want to serve you. We just want to add value to you, to then you taking the steps necessary for your life to see what program fits you best.
Yeah. And I always, thank you so much for that, Erica. I always suggest to people, hey, look, just test it out.
Yes.
And we just finished an event here at the Napoleon Hill Institute. And during the event, we're offering 14 days free of charge for the self-discipline camp. So try it out for free.
Yeah.
Free is free. What do you got to lose?
Free is good.
A couple hours sleep. I mean, but you start to see in a very, very short time how powerful just those morning sessions can be in your life. I have some of my coaching clients. In fact, some that aren't even my coaching clients. They're simply in my free book study that I do every Wednesday night for the civilians. And they joined and they show up every day and they love it.
That's
and they
awesome.
tell me just how much they're getting out of it. And of course, I'm there too. So I'm watching them. I'm holding them accountable. They're all showing up.
Yeah.
Well, if they're all showing up, and now it's been for them, it's been over a month that they've been showing up because they came in on a program I was offering, which was 30 days free. They don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So, try it out for free. You got nothing to lose, and it's a great opportunity to kind of get a little taste. And
Yeah.
yeah, I came into the mentorship program, and I'll tell you why. I just wanted to be a better coach. I was already a coach before I was with Napoleon Hill. So were you, Erica.
Yes.
And I just wanted to be better. And so I had such belief in the 13 foundational principles that we talk about in Think and Grow Rich. I said, that's how to be better.
Mm.
And this mentorship program was going to give me an 8-month education. It's actually been changed now. Now I think it's up to a year education to dive into the principles and bring my bar to a higher level to help my clients.
Absolutely. But we would not be the military division, Frank Menard, without us sharing maybe a very quick, short military story. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit and just look back at your military career and share a quick, awesome in uniform story.
Okay. And I got it. Came right to my brain.
Okay, awesome.
So it was early in my recruiting career. I'm in my state of New Hampshire, my home state, my hometown, Nashua, New Hampshire, and I have a young man. His name is Dan, and he was a senior in high school. He was making application to Annapolis. He wanted to go to Annapolis, but he hadn't been accepted yet, and it was coming time where he just had to make a decision. And so Dan agreed to enlist in the Marine Corps with my guidance, and he went to boot camp, basic training at Parris Island, South Carolina. Graduated from basic training. I believe he graduated as the honor graduate. Came home to work with me for 30 days as a recruiter aide. And then I put him on a bus and sent him off to his next school. He gets to the school and finds out he's been accepted at the Naval Academy.
Whoa.
He comes back and prepares to go to the academy. Story doesn't end there. He goes off. We saw each other maybe 2 or 3 times. In fact, it's funny. I've got a picture in my office, in my picture box, of he and I standing in my recruiting office, and he looks like the older guy because I literally look like I was 12 back then. Yeah, I like it now, but I didn't like it back then. So anyway, long story short, I finish up my career. I get engaged with Facebook, 2008 maybe, and I get a message from Dan in response to something I had posted. He said, "You don't understand the impact that you had on my life." Just saying the story makes me get a little emotional about it because that's what we have. Each of us as an individual has an opportunity. So of all the stories that I could probably tell about my time in uniform, that's the one that had the most impact. This poor guy went to boot camp, and then he went to boot camp again. So his first year at the academy, but he wanted it so bad. He had a burning desire. He wanted it so bad. He did what it took, and I was happy to be part of the story.
Yeah, it's
How
about
about you?
it's
How about
about
you,
being
Erica?
significant, Frank.
Yeah.
It's about significance. I think that I was always grateful. Every single day that I put the uniform on, I smiled like, man, I'm here, right? But I did not really know my purpose,
Yeah.
like core purpose, until I'm deployed. This is way back, like you, right? Your story, way back to Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Come on, long time ago. And I'm flying airback. My first career in the Air Force was to be a medic. We're deployed. I'm afraid. Telling you right now, I'm afraid, right? And we're running missions, and we get. I don't know if you know the 141 cargo plane, and we used to put patients in litters, and five high, and I had this young Marine, one of my patients, on the top. So I had to climb on the litters, hold on to the litter to see what he needed. And here is this young African American man holding on to a photo of a young baby, a little baby, and a young woman. And I'm like, your wife? And he is afraid of turbulence. And the plane is moving and he's not having it. And he just goes like this, uh-huh. And then I said, and then I can see that he's uncomfortable. I touch his belly. I see that he needs surgery in Germany, where we're going. And this is the deal, Frank, of humanity, is that as I'm holding on to this young man, I take my glove off, right? And I put it, this hand, I'm holding on for dear life. I put this hand on his forehead. The minute human to human contact was made, I saw him, tears, those quiet tears. And I told him, right, you're going to be fine. Put my glove back on. We got to Germany. We're deplaning. I'm on one side of the plane. He's being deplaned on the other side of the plane. I'm looking for him. He's looking for me. And at one point in time, right, I'm wearing a flight suit, young, cute, right? And I look at him and he's looking back, laying back, looking back. And he does this with his head, right? I'm thinking that is thank you from a Marine, right? And then I put my hands on my waist, right? And look back at him and go, which is a thank you from an airman.
Yeah.
And I was thanking him because in that moment, he showed me why. He showed me my why I was in the military. And he showed me my why looking back now on why I am a coach specifically for the Napoleon Hill Institute now.
Yeah. You know, it's what a fantastic story. And I'm sure you and I could spend hours telling stories. You know, it's
We will.
but here's the thing. We all go through different levels. You know, in our life, it's survival. You know, first you're just trying to figure it out. How am I going to pay the bills? And you kind of figure that out. And then you get up to stability, and maybe you've kind of get a little bit comfortable. You can afford most of the bills you got, but you still struggle a little bit to make ends meet. And then you get to success, where you don't worry about things so much anymore. You just get into your routines. You live within your means, and it's a level of success that most of us are happy with. But that last step is significance. And when
Mhm.
you can get to the level of significance, it doesn't mean that you're better than anybody. It simply means that you're now able to give back to anybody who needs it. And the picture in my mind as I'm saying this is the mountain climber who's the first one's up on top, high on a mountain, and he's got his left hand up grabbing the rocks, and he's got his right hand back pulling someone else behind him.
Yes. Yes.
When you become significant, you're doing nothing more than helping and leading the way. So if anyone who's listening to this today would like to reach that level of significance, you want to have a purpose in your life, and purpose is really important. A lot of people stop living, stop growing because they've lost their purpose. They're having a hard time finding the purpose. If you want to find a purpose and give back and help others, as my friend Zig Ziglar said, if we help enough other people get what they want, we can have everything we want and live our best lives. Check into the Napoleon Hill Institute, see what's there, try out the free stuff that we got. It's there for you to learn, to grow. And if you just say, great, I grew a little bit, I'm done, great.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think you want to pursue it further, don't be afraid, take action, because this is a great community and we serve others daily.
Yes. Frank, this is a perfect transition to close the conversation today. And just very quick summary, everyone, that reinforces what Frank just shared with all of us. And that is that three things, right? This beautiful triad of of how you, how I, how we can find that significance that Frank just talked about. And that is that you, my friend, you need a vision. You need a vision. So that's number one in that triad. Because, like we said earlier today, without a vision, you're not going to get up. Number two is that you need a mentor, you need a coach. You need someone, a mentor is someone that has lived maybe where the path that you are on, and they are just a few steps before you. And they can say, hey, learn from my lessons. Don't go here because you're going to fall. And a coach is just going to be someone that is going to ask questions, enough questions for you to bring up options that you decide on which ones you are going to take. So you need that vision. You need that mentor, that coach. And number three is you need a community that can support you, like this one. So it's just an invitation. But those three things, the vision, the mentor, and the support, are core for all of us to move forward. Again, Frank, thank you so much for the conversation today, everyone. I am Erica Kelly, and I am the leader for the division, the military division for the Napoleon Hill Institute. And it has, if I can speak for the two of us, Frank, it has been our pleasure to host this event, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
My pleasure to share the room with you, Erica.
Thank you, sir.
Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The Napoleon Hill Institute introduces Think and Grow Rich, the mentorship program. Still waiting for the perfect moment to change your life? Here's a secret. That moment is now. Imagine the future you've dreamed of. Not next year, not someday, now. Inspired by Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, we're launching a 3-part journey to transform your mind and unleash your potential. Conceive the vision of what you really want. Believe that it's possible, because here we eliminate doubt. And then achieve, because it's time you actually live that dream. These principles simply work. This isn't just a program, it's your future, with a whole community backing you up. You are not alone. Certified coaches, video modules, live calls, success tools, accountability. Everything you need to stay on track and never look back. Ask yourself, can you afford to wait? Don't drift through life. Step up, take charge, and join the movement. The Napoleon Hill Institute. It's a frequency.